of my executive courses, a man in the class told me during the break that he had been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when he was a freshman in high school. Asperger's syndrome is described by many therapists as high-functioning autism. Dave was extremely smart, but had difficulty reading social cues. Dave's high school counselor was discouraging and suggested that Dave pursue a degree in zoology. However, Dave wasn't interested in zoology. Dave always saw himself as a businessman. The counselor said the deck was stacked against him. So Dave went on a mission to improve his ability to relate to people. He took communication courses. He hired a coach. He did improvisational acting and learned how to ask questions in conversation. Dave would say to his team, "Some people have diabetes. Some people have asthma. This is what I have." Bram Cohen, CEO of BitTorrent, was diagnosed with Asperger's when he was 28 years old. The diagnosis opened doors for him, and he learned how to detect and mimic human expressions, follow social cues, maintain eye contact, and add information to his social algorithm. What's the point of both of these stories? Both Dave and Bram were able to overcome nature through practice, learning, dedication, and motivation. An enduring question when it comes to leadership is, are leaders born or are they made? There are two dominant theories. Entity theory, also known as trait theory or the great man theory of leadership, argues that leadership is a trait or set of abilities that one is either born with or not. Incremental theory argues that leadership is not a trait, but rather an acquired skill and is highly influenced by the environment. Now look, I'm not saying that DNA doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter as much as we think it does. There's lots of evidence for the incremental approach. Let's consider some examples. Leadership skills of CEOs are not predictive of which companies succeed. There's little or no evidence linking personality to leadership. Several studies reveal a head-of-the-table effect. The person who randomly sits at the head of the table is more likely to emerge and be seen as a leader. Studies on the fewest chairs effect. Hint, if you want to be viewed as a leader, sit on the side of the table with the fewest chairs. More people spend time gazing at you and start to think that you're a natural leader. Finally, in situations in which people are randomly selected to be leaders, they outperform teams in which leaders have been selected. However, even in light of this evidence supporting an incremental theory of leadership, many leaders and businesses believe in entity theory. We think that such views can prevent learning and growth. Here's why. People who believe in an entity view of leadership, by definition, don't see leadership as a teachable, learnable skill. In contrast, people who believe in an incremental theory of leadership have more self-efficacy, a belief in their own ability to learn. As an example, in one investigation, people's beliefs about leadership were measured, revealing, as you might expect, two kinds of people: those who believe leaders are born, entity, and those who believe leaders are developed, incremental. The result of Crystal Hoyt's study revealed that people who held incremental theories were more confident, less anxious, and less depressed than those with entity theories of leadership. And perhaps most important, they outperformed those who held entity views. Okay, let's sum up. There are two fundamental beliefs about leadership: entity and incremental, corresponding to nature versus nurture. Leadership ability is usually regarded as an inborn trait. We often underplay the role of nurture. Let's proceed from this point with the firm belief that anyone who is intent upon improving their leadership can improve dramatically.